Hello everyone, I'm Chris Kapches. I'm the president of Chestnut Park Real Estate, and today I'm going to give you your September market report. I'm going to start with the total number of sales that took place in the month of September. Total number of sales came in at 5,038. We have to go all the way back to 2001 in order to see sales at that level, just slightly over 5,000. So clearly, the market has been dramatically impacted in a negative way by the rising bank rate, which in turn has had an impact on mortgage interest rates. So over the last 5 or 6 months, we have seen the bank rate continue to go up. In early March, it was 0.25%. Today, the bank rate is at 3.25%. And correspondingly, we have seen mortgage interest rates increase over that same period of time. And the rising mortgage interest rates have had both a financial impact on the market because it has made housing that much less affordable for people, and at the same time has had a psychological impact on a lot of people, wondering where the market is going to finally settle down, whether the average sale price will continue to come down, and whether or not opportunities will be available to people in the future that aren't available now. I don't think that's going to transpire, and I think affordability is going to continue to be an issue. And as I've said on previous market reports, when we get through this hiatus period and the bank gets control of inflation and starts lowering the benchmark rate and interest rates come down, then all the factors that were at play pre-pandemic and then into the pandemic will come to play again, and we'll have that same frenetic marketplace where demand far outstrips supply. So on the whole, a very negative market report for September, falling sales. We see increase in inventory, so buyers have more choice than they had in the past. The active listings are up by 47% compared to a year ago. Now there are 13,534 active listings. As I said, substantially higher than we had a year ago. And again, lots of choice for buyers. So buyers are not going to be quite as active in the market as they were. The days of multiple offer competitions, we don't see them the way we did in the past, and we're not going to be seeing them in the future, at least in the short-term future. Are there good things in this market? I think there are a few, and I think we should mention them. One of the things that we saw in September, for the first time since prices started to fall, is, in my opinion, a strengthening of average sale prices. At the beginning of September, in the city of Toronto, they were coming in at slightly over $1 million. As we got into the tail end of September and now into October, when this report is being filmed, we're getting closer to $1.1 million. So I think the shock of the interest rates has been absorbed. And I think buyers who are in the market have adjusted to that shock and adjusted to the higher carrying costs. And as a result of that, are starting to engage in the market in such a way that we're starting to see prices come up. Secondly, we're seeing prices continue to go up in the case of condominium apartments. Obviously, they are the least expensive housing form in the marketplace right now. So in the city of Toronto and in the 905 region, we see average sale prices up by over 3%. In the city of Toronto, about 3.4% year over year. Sales have come down. Sales came down in all categories, whether it's detached, semi-detached townhouses, or condominium apartments, they came down. And I believe that overall, that will continue to happen as we make our way towards the end of the year, particularly if the Bank of Canada increases its benchmark rate again, which is anticipated at the end of October. Another area that is positive and I think somewhat surprising is the eastern districts in the city of Toronto. They continue to buck the trend, and by trend I mean, first of all, sales to list price. They are still selling over 100%, whether it's semi-detached or detached properties. Overall, in the marketplace, we're coming in at about 98% of the asking price. So a radical difference in the eastern districts, and particularly I'm referring to Riverdale, Leslieville, and the Beach, where we're still seeing strong demand, and occasionally we're even seeing multiple offers in those areas. Not nearly as frequently as we saw through the pandemic or even pre the pandemic, but we're occasionally seeing multiple offers. So where is this market going? Well, I think we're going to see more of the same as we move forward. Again, as I mentioned earlier, if the bank rate goes up, mortgage interest rates are going to follow suit, and it's going to be that much more difficult for buyers. And even if prices do come down, and I think they've stabilized, as I mentioned a little earlier, even if they do come down, it's not going to make it any more affordable for buyers. In fact, if anything, it's less affordable. Back in February, the average sale price was $1,344,000. Today, in the city of Toronto, for example, as I said, it's just slightly over $1.1 million, almost an 18% decline, and yet affordability is more difficult for buyers than it was back then. So anticipate the same in October, probably November. Then, of course, we'll get into the seasonal markets in December. And don't anticipate any real positive change to this trend until we hit 2023, where I believe the Bank of Canada will get inflation under control, and as it gets inflation under control, it'll stop or perhaps even reduce its benchmark rate. And when that happens, be careful, because this market's going to take off. So until we do the October report, please stay well. I look forward to providing it for you next month. Thank you.